Hi fellas. I can remember some decades ago in my youth, back in the 70s, I can remember there were these political extremist groups, they used to call them. They used to call them Nazis, racists and bigots and fascists or whatever. All the normal keywords. And some of them certainly were a bit racist, I think. I don't know, I wasn't a member of them, so I don't know. These were the, what was it first? I think it was the NF and the EDL. Then it was the, forget the order exactly, there's been a few of them. Then it was the British National Party, which certainly did expose a lot of these grooming gangs, which even them were operating, we know that. There was a case up in Blackpool, which is on the left side. If you look at the map, halfway up at the British Isles, there's a seaside resort, an old Victorian, quite quaint, old-fashioned place called Blackpool, and they were the only ones that were speaking about this young girl that was murdered. Well, several girls that were murdered. There was Charlene Downs, that's spelled Downes, if you want to Google it, and her friend Paige Chilvers, and they both disappeared off the face of the earth. How strange is that? In a country with one of the lowest murder rates in the world, the lowest gun crime rates in the world, the lowest child mortality rates in the world, which we're very proud of, by the way, thanks to our great NHS. Yes, many girls have gone missing. And the common factor with a lot of these young girls that have gone missing is they have, for various reasons, they have been hanging around kebab houses, often owned by non-Christian people, shall we say. Yes, and this was the case with Charlene Downs. She was only 14, she was only a little quaint, little petite girl, but she made the mistake of believing the lies of these takeaway workers, these takeaway owners, rich people that followed the prophet, and they're still in business, and apparently they're still attacking kids, and you can imagine they've been lied to. They're so good at it. As one victim said, they're so good at it, it's sick. That's how good they are at it, at lying to these girls. They know they know that when they're innocent 14, 15-year-olds, they know the sort of things they're looking for. They're looking for eternal love, they're looking for marriage, they're looking for maybe a family in the future. And they know a lot of English girls are brought up to think that these people are beautiful people. And this man with a nice car, he was old enough to be, probably old enough to be a granddad, but might be a nice man who might look after her, who might be telling her the truth. So you can imagine, a few weeks later, when they've lost their virginity, they realise, they get trying to get all their friends to go to bed with them. You can imagine how betrayed they feel, how humiliated they feel. They fought anything from a 10-year-old to 16-year-old girls. You can imagine what they'll say to these men. You better obey your promises, you better marry me, you better look after me, I'm pregnant. If you don't look after me and stop these lies, I'm going to go to the police. Well, the police in Lancashire suspect this is what happened with Charlene Downs and dozens of girls, scores of girls. Lancashire police have said they believe dozens of girls have been done away with. So, regarding our Patriots Tommy Robinson, I've been following him, posting his stuff for years. Obviously lost literally dozens of YouTube channels, I'm not kidding. There's a character on Facebook, an Antifa guy. Apparently he's a convert to this savage, sadistic, slave-dealing ideology because he makes fun of people who eat pork. Well, pork, as you know, is pretty much regarded as it's haram. It's forbidden food for anyone following this ideology. But of course, for us Westerners, we quite enjoy a bacon butty or what have you. It's very nourishing stuff, and it have to be said, this whole ideology is set in savagery. Their Mo, their 7th century Mo, is well documented in these so-called holy writings, these unholy writings. Yes, they really are. You look at their holy writings, either of Old Mo or the basic Q book, and it's riddled with paedophilia, his massacres, his murders. It actually states in the book, the prophets such and such smited them about their necks. If you smite someone about their necks, what are you doing? You're not You're not giving them an award, are you? You're not putting a medal around the neck. You are cutting their throats, obviously. And this is what it says numerous times in the holy writings. Not only did he use his own knife and sword and slit people's throats and kick them into trenches, Negan style, Gestapo style. This was all imitated by Adolf Hitler in World War II. Even his method of attack, his blitzkrieg, catching him by surprise, going in on horseback with sabres, spears. This was exactly what Adolf Hitler did to the countries he attacked. It's blitzkrieg. Adolf Hitler, the well-known Nazi, and the cause of 60 million deaths in World War II, clearly stated, the only leader I admire is Mo. The only ideology I really like is that ideology. So where did Adolf Hitler get all his ideas from? Even as far as the Holocaust on all the gay and Jewish and Slavic peoples, and it wasn't just Jews, of course. I mean, there were a lot of Jews killed. I don't know, I'm not a Holocaust denier, but certainly there were a lot of people killed, and there were a lot of gays killed, and a lot of Catholic priests and Catholics were killed for trying to help these Jewish people, millions and millions. Even this, the Holocaust, the Shoah, even this was copied off this ideology. You don't believe me, do you? No. It's all to do with peace. He was a beautiful individual, old Mo. Yes, when he was kicking those bodies into those pre-prepared trenches, doing his massacre after massacre after massacre. There's about 4 or 5 massacres mentioned in their writings. The first one was Banu Qurayza, the second one was Khaybar. Yes. At the Battle of Khaybar, as our Tommy said, the Jewish leader, whose name was Assad, if I'm not mistaken, it's Assad the same as Bashar al-Assad, but no relation. Yes, he collected all, being a trusted chieftain, he'd collected all the gold together and hid it in one of the houses, buried it in one of the floor of one of the houses, and they actually tied him down, and they put a pot full of wood and paper and oil, and they strapped this pot to his abdomen, and because he wouldn't tell him where the gold was, they made this fire, so it was red hot, so you can imagine the pain, a red hot brass vessel, or steel vessel, burning into your skin, burning into your belly, into your muscles. You can imagine the pain. And he relented, and he told them where the gold was, the village's wealth was. And they subsequently checked it was there, and they beheaded him. And as Tommy Robinson said, Sophia, his 17-year-old beautiful Jewish wife, the prophet did screw the same night. It states this in their book. States it in the holy book. He screwed beautiful Sophia, who was one of the most beautiful women in the region. Apparently, he screwed her the same night. But they say he didn't rape her. He didn't rape her. She'd just seen her husband butchered in front of her, and loads of other people, and all the menfolk, and all the older boys were butchered. The women and the younger kids were sold into sexual slavery to old weirdos like Mo. But no, they didn't. It wasn't rape. It wasn't rape at all. No. So anyway, regarding our Tommy, he did nothing wrong at all outside that court. I've published the same lists, the same charge sheets of the BBC and Greater Manchester and the Huddersfield Examiner, and nobody's been to arrest me. This information, even I knew this. I knew this was a fake prosecution. I'm no lawyer. I've got some university, but even I knew straight away. It's in the public domain. The same day Tommy was arrested, I googled it, and there it was. There it was on the Huddersfield Examiner, on the Manchester Evening News, and the BBC, and numerous websites. Even had the individual offences. Like one of them, if not mistaken, there's 77 paedophiles in Huddersfield, just in that one town. 77 being done, and that's not all of them. There's plenty more. 77, there's 29, there's 31, and the last group is 17, and one of them actually is being done for 21 counts of rape of a child. 21, and these, as Tommy said, these were from the age of 11. So don't believe it's fake news, don't believe CNN, don't believe BBC. BBC frankly is pretty much garbage now. We've done some good work on the documentary side, the Three Girls documentary, and others, Betrayed Girls. That was pretty good. Well, it went easy on the violence, but as far as the treatment of Tommy Robinson is concerned, it's been atrocious. It's been vile. It's been a pack of lies from front to back. He never pleaded guilty. He had every right to say that in the streets, in a public street, because the information was already on the BBC website, you idiots. Oh, and you mock the right guy. How about, instead of altering people's pictures and putting silly smiles on, how about actually, no, looking at these grooming gang cases and finding out for yourself? But not, usually, not one of them is a white man. I mean, I'm quite well tanned, but I was a born white man. But none of them are the same. At Huddersfield, of the 77 paedophiles that are going to jail, they've got DNA, they'll all be found guilty. They always are. They all, nearly always are. Like 99% of occasions, not one of the 77 in Huddersfield, or usually anywhere up in West Yorkshire, because this is a regular thing, not one of them is usually white native European. I can think of one or two cases where a delivery driver at these takeaways, because that's usually where it happens, takeaways and private hire taxis. So keep your daughters away from these places. Same in Canada, same in the USA. Keep your kids, your teenage daughters that look nice and are dressing nice. Doesn't matter if they're 11 or 12, they will be targeted because their ideology says they can do this. Okay, lovely day here today. Scattered cloud and red hot in the sunshine. I think I'll be looking even more Asian if we carry on like this. Okay, see you guys. Bye bye.